Welcome everybody, welcome back to Outer Worlds 2. In this stream, I'm hoping to actually finish this game with the quests we have left. We're not going to finish all the pieces. We're going to basically pursue the last companion quest, the final lesson, and then the point of no return. So let's finish Tristan's quest.
If Virgil's not about, he's like to be in the training grounds depths. There's a lift that will take us lower. The door next to those stairs.
Is this locked? Nope, it's not a real door. Okay. Let's just head back down. Bathroom. Bedroom. Wait.
Tristan! It's a relief to see a friendly face. Do come up.
Well, Virgil seems friendly now, so...
Virgil! Ah, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something... impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
Enemy in vicinity. Standing by to stupefy.
System that fights!
Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold on.
You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
We cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
Well, if you say so. Let's see what's I'm not sure if I've used this weapon before.
That seems
Unfriendly
odd.
nearby.
Back to it.
I'll handle this.
Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Consul is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
Please, that's just a response.
I don't believe this. The Consul must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? I did what I thought was just.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
With the demands this war has made on us all, I've not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Consul before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith. No. Sentinel Peralt's remarks were the first I'd heard of any secret room. I feared what you might learn there, so I scrambled to find an agent who might locate the room before you. I only had one contact who I knew may be able to do the job. Unfortunately, it seems you found him before he could complete his task. Would that he had. I had no wish to cause his death through my impetuousness. That is news to me. A junior arbiter judging Tristan. I can't imagine you let that stand.
Her breach of rank was much too severe to overlook. Do not believe this line of questioning shall distract me from my duty.
Seems like it would be tough to stay loyal.
No. I can, if the situation was truly as he claims, understand his initial decision. Perhaps I even sympathize. Just a little. But playing false with me, that's another matter entirely. And the matter of justice remains. You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. I've completed my share of executions beside you. In each circumstance, you convinced me to reinforce my duty. I shall make no
I guess I
exception
did do
here.
that, huh?
Though it pains me that I must do the same to my sworn brother, we do what is necessary for the Protectorate.
Wait, you don't need to do this.
But I do. This issue is between me and Virgil. He is a traitor to the Protectorate. Perhaps the worst I've ever encountered.
Do what you will.
Hope you don't regret this. That you don't wake each night at the same time, haunted by it, and all the other mistakes you'll doubtlessly make from here.
Arbiter Virgil Montag, I accuse you of the murder of the Supreme Arbiter and of conspiracy against the Protectorate. I find you guilty of all counts. Prepare for absolution.
This won't bring you peace, my sworn brother. The thought of standing against you fills me with 1,000 agonies. But I am honor-bound to defend myself.
Those will be the final words out of your traitorous maw.
Combatant observed. Stun weapon ready.
Justice is served. I did what had to be done. I did.
Are you okay?
Yes, mostly. I never expected this to be something I would need to do. So I must be stronger than my expectations. I need some time to myself, to think about everything that just happened. Let us converse later.
The last advanced mod kit. Okay, we're going back to the ship, seeing how Tristan feels once we return.
Commander, I've had some time to process what transpired with Virgil. It was intensely difficult in the moment. But bringing him low was the right decision. I could not allow him to maraud about Arcadia after what he did. Clemency and understanding breed only perfidy and death. I see now why Arcadia was so easily invaded. The Protectorate has grown soft. No exception may be granted to our laws. You seem to think you're talking to a doddering child rather than an arbiter. Be it a friend, or neighbor, or sworn brother, I shall stomp out traitorism wherever it lies. My feelings on the matter are less than
You're
inconsequential.
still feeling.
The Protectorate has let traitors fester in its midst for too long. If it's to survive, it must be stern. I shall be the ready hand of this new society. Any who wrong the Protectorate shall be granted no quarter. This I decree from this moment forward. Allowing criminals to flourish begets infinitely more inhumanity than adhering to the Protectorate's laws. Arcadia shall no longer be host to anyone who would harm the Protectorate, from within or without. I shall redouble this as my life's mission. Together, you and I shall rid Arcadia of anything that might fly in the face of Protectorate law. I shall adhere to it more strictly than ever before.
Okay. Let's see. Now we are pursuing the quest to kill Auntie Cleo once and for all.
You return, no doubt with questions. I am glad you were able to resolve your uncertainty. You have proven yourself reliable, but do not underestimate Cleo's cunning. There is a high probability she will try to bargain for her life, if given the chance. I cannot predict with sufficient accuracy what other dangers you might face inside her headquarters, but I would advise exercising your usual caution.
Where are her headquarters?
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish for the Order. I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation, but perhaps this will be illuminating in some fashion. Specifically, a phlogistinated firearm. capable of tunneling through reinforced armor. Broadly, weaponry, research, anything capable of giving our exemplars an edge. Great. I was just thinking, I'd love for a stranger to come along and patronize me so I could blindly hand them experimental order technology. I generally prefer to keep discussions relevant.
Now, where are her headquarters? Right. Now, this place should be plenty hostile to us because Auntie's choice is now kill on sight. Wait, before we do that, let's modify Tristan's workbench.
It's Fizzos, Fizzos, we love Fizzos, Fizzos, Spectrum Vodka.
Intruder alert! Representatives of the Order detected. Protect your auntie, and you may qualify for a one-time go-getter incentive offer. We took what nature heedlessly.
Greetings, distinguished ally. What a favorable confluence of events that brings us brimming with dire purpose to this den of acquisition. Our highly educated soldiery are here to support you, to assist in clearing a path to the, boss, I suppose, of our short-sighted consumerist rivals. Is there anything I can do to facilitate your efforts? The ACS Undisputed Claim is the corporate flagship of Auntie's Choice and houses its so-called leader. So we forecast heavy to severe resistance. That is, a variety of their most well-trained combat units and a ferocious assemblage of xenofauna they have skillfully trained to bolster their efforts. Is there anything else? Her office is in the aptly named Head Office Tower. We must fight through her troops to reach its elevators. May our intended actions yield expected results.
The Order recognizes your contributions. You are truly summa cum laude among laypeople.
First up, excessive corporate malfeasance. The only division that earns us less when they work more. Ease off the throttle, gang. Won't be any malfeasance if you don't look for it.
Why can't I pick this up? Okay.
You've advanced the plan. You shall be feted.
You're playing your part in the grand plan.
Output is down 18%. I'm not paying professional hunters to run a petting zoo. Acquire.
Well, it looks like they took care of everyone in this room.
It's your life's work. I get it.
Apologies, this unit's conversation module is functioning intermittently.
Volatility out there right now. The market hates uncertainty. Can't say I care for it either. But I'll have no
That's so lucky, huh?
efficient. Respected subordinates.
I cogitate more efficiently knowing you're on our side.
Your contributions are much appreciated.
There are so many reasons to shop for Auntie's Choice products. We have a wide range of goods
You know what?
for every budget, from the most extravagant to the most bit-minded of customers. We have food and drink for every taste and meal you can imagine, plus a few more that you can't imagine, but that we can sell you recipes for. We are also the only retailers for parasite-free purple berries.
Your methods are unconventional, outlier, but you get verifiable results.
Thank you.
Thank you for improving our efficiency.
Tranicular, arriving any moment now. Approaching station. Client intake.
I hear you're our new problem solver.
Appreciate your facilitations.
Barely stacked the deck against the little person as they tried. With us in Palisade.
Well, it looks like we'll have to find our way through all of this then.
Always remember, commercialism
I just noticed
is
the feathers added to his
foundation
hat.
that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system's glorious efficacy. While the Protectorate decide what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers. What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our overbearing neighbors employ.
I'm grateful for your time and effort.
Bring a new product to
Ah, you, prime mover of the grand plan.
I'll write my next dissertation in your honor.
You're remarkably effective for someone so ignorant of abstract calculus.
If it isn't my new favorite operator.
You will be duly cited in the annals of our success.
We have a good collaboration going here.
dynamic, efficient, and well
Duplicator at ready status.
After all,
I was wondering where it ended.
to dispense judgment! Your vitals look grim, Commander.
I'm taking cover. Someone else take the shot. Going to investigate. Let's clear the... Moving to an entrenched position.
To offer higher quality pharmaceuticals designed to be better than nature. Because nature has grown peaceful. Conceived the first of many rivals. But remains one of our goals.
Commander, if I know one thing for certain, murdering members of the Order isn't my role within the grand plan. Oh, I've been operating outside of known parameters since before I can remember, dear. I know well how to intellectually justify morally questionable actions, but attacking the Order, the true Order, not those turncoats we fought before, well, I just can't abide doing it
I did
further.
realize I killed some of the Order members.
Welcome to all visiting Auntie's Choice employees, affiliates in training, and ethically gray consultants who labor with committing to a side. An artificial life is a life that's sweeter. Live a life that's sweeter with Auntie's Choice. Item, business is good. We have positive bit flow. Our portfolio is diversified. But we can always do better. I'll give it to you straight in my quarterly underperformance review. First up, excessive corporate malfeasance. The only division that earns us less when they work more. Ease off the throttle, gang. Won't be any malfeasance if you don't look for it. Next is assertive arbitration. Quite the bit pit. Down 14% in net gross. You're supposed to squeeze blood from every contract, not put us in the red. Learn to negotiate. Xenobiological exploitation's output is down 18%. I'm not paying professional hunters to run up the local fauna like it's your life's work. I get it. Between the rifts, aggressive rivals, and the actions of maverick freelancers, there's a lot of volatility out there right now. The market hates uncertainty. Can't say I care for it either. But I'll have no truck with the ambition deficient. Respected subordinates, spare me no gumption, and I promise we will all. There are so many reasons to show Auntie's Choice. For every budget, from the most extravagant to the most bit.
Proceeding to attack. Investigating hostile intentions. Standing by to stupefy. Mobilizing.
Our commander hangs from a...
Let's clear their ledger.
We still have food.
Unbridled freedom's all about.
The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man has been developed for our ages. A thing of legend to be handed down for a modesty to generation. Macer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stack the deck against the little person as they try to...
Time to go up.
Well, look who it is. Ruth's lackey. But perhaps you have more negotiating skills. Let's parley. See if we can come to terms. Reach an accord. Ah, I remember you from Fairfield. You were quite agreeable, if I recall. We must attempt to recapture that affability
You're
now.
just ahead.
Let's be reasonable, shall we? Everyone has a price. What's your lowest offer for yours?
Shouldn't you be the one making me an offer?
But that would put me on an awkward footing. Never haggle while on your back heel, I always
You don't even
say.
have a heel.
Oh, fine. You're a shrewd negotiator. I'll surrender. I keep my life. The Order can imprison me somewhere. You know, every need cared for, no immense weight of responsibility, no more running Auntie's choice every single instant of every single day. And in return, I'll provide you my telescoping staff, my dress, my wig. I mean, that is what you're proposing, correct? Now, what do you think? Should I accept this deal of yours?
Surely you're not entertaining this, Commander. Auntie is more slippery than a greased sprat. Allow her to live, and all of Arcadia stands to regret it.
Well, now you've conferred with your associates. What do you say?
Or I could take that stuff off your body. Or
I
head.
promise you'll never find them then. Completely. Not prevaricating wildly at all. Oh, that's quite a clever strategy. Suppose you realize you have me over a barrel. Fine. Wait, you're not bluffing, are you? This isn't some savvy negotiating tactic at all. You intend to kill me. Wait, whatever they're offering, I'll almost double it. Stop this instant.
Well, let's do it.
No! No! No!
Ew. What is this thing? Well, I wish I could take a selfie with this thing. Can I? Oh. Whoops, I didn't mean for this to take this much time. Good enough for me. Now, let's get out of here. A new toss ball card. +1 present damage. You know, maybe I should invest into lockpicking at least a little bit. But like, all of these are inhaler charges that I don't use, so I don't see the point. Don't think there's anything on this board.
I've been awake too long, I reckon. Think I heard something. I'll give it a look.
Hostilities are afoot.
So you're still here.
You again? Shouldn't it be clear by now that you aren't welcome here?
Desist your feet.
Any moment now.
Internal records classify you a figure of ill repute, and with a significant backlog of fines.
Allow me, child. I have a familiarity with order procedures. Such an unproductive misuse of time. I request we dispense with this matter in the interests of the equation and all who serve it.
But well, yes, quite right. The equation must take precedence. All charges shall hereby be purged from you and your companion's permanent record, to avoid further distraction.
Glad my decades wasted outwitting petty bureaucrats weren't utterly in vain. But let's not overplay that option.
Well, yeah, we have a bounty for killing our allies, so let's clear that bounty real fast.
Attention, any and all no-getters on my payroll. It's Time to recognize the downwardly mobile with my latest emotions report. Starting with Dr. Giles Rasmussen, demoted from his unnamed and clearly unimportant position within experimental operations. Welcome to your new role as Site Sanitation Manager, Doc. Next, we have Reginald Oswald in Proprietary Insight Acquisition, demoted for playing confidential logs in a paid public toilet. Not what I mean when I encourage working on the go. Perhaps a strategic step backward to Document Index Manager will refresh your info security fundamentals, Reggie. Congrats! You're now...
You deserve no small credit for our success.
Next is Elise Rickshaw in...
Alright, let's head back to Laplace's garden and finish this quest line once and for all.
With Cleo dead, Auntie's choice will surely collapse from the ensuing power struggle. Thus always to materialists. The Order is now well positioned to triumph over the regressive forces of ignorance that have heretofore held Arcadia in stasis. And it is all thanks to you. Your estimable opinion of the Order is not, nor will ever be, misplaced. When the final contest with the Protectorate takes place, wherever that may occur, you will not only have the Order support, I will stand with you personally. Were I still shackled to ego, I might have succumbed to some instinct for self-preservation. But my presence improves the odds of our success, and so there is no other decision to be made.
This is the max level. Right, let's tackle this last mission. We managed to make it to level 30 without doing like all of the... doing every single quest out there.
It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control.
Who's responsible
The
for this?
energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
And I know just how to stop him. Get me close and I'll make it quick.
Won't be easy breaking into the Sovereign's personal flagship.
Fortunately, the Providence is not equipped with exterior weaponry. If you can reach the ship, you should find no obstacles to boarding it. This unit urges moving quickly. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent destruction of the colony. While the Order have sent their forces to assist you in intercepting the modulator, it will take time for them to navigate the station.
Every rift is a slight against the people of Arcadia, whom I have pledged to protect. And my business with the Consul is deeply personal. You must take me onto the station.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck.
We should keep moving, Commander.
Now's not the time for a tete-a-tete, I'm afraid.
Soon the Consul will answer for his many, many crimes. I have looked forward to this for a long, long time.
No time for a chit-chat, dear. We have a rift to attend to.
Preparing obligatory encouragement. You can do it, Commander.
Just waiting on your orders, Commander. Whenever you're ready.
To be so close. The rift. It's magnificent. When we've done what we came to do, it's finally time. I shall soon be reborn into perfection. Thank you for bringing me here. Too much mayhem to be sown to stop and talk right now.
Gotta keep moving, Commander.
Soon the Consul will answer for his many, many crimes. I have looked forward to this for a long, long time. This place is a nightmare beyond the most fevered delusion.
And those soldiers, they do not look right.
The Consul stands at the controls of the Sovereign's own flagship. How my blood boils. Troublemaker approaching!
Everything is broken here. Wires, twisted, landing pad, 30. Oh.
Where's it? Where's the enemy?
Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
Huh. Well, this is something I don't want to open.
Let us hope that whatever architect forsaken logic operates within this place does not fail us.
Order forces are on their way to you now, Agent. Their estimated arrival time is imminent.
My armor may be rated for temperatures in the thousands, but I find even most blankets too stifling. Let us find an alternate.
thought my plasma shower days were behind me when I left Triangular.
Let me know when you need a distraction. Take him out!
There's a door here. The door is barred shut.
Medics and pharmaceutical provisions incoming.
Visual acquired.
Adjusting calculations. Hold fire on our allies. Got troublemaker. presiding bishop.
The Order is indebted to you for restoring the archive.
Chasms are everywhere.
Hello, layperson.
The presiding bishop wishes to thank you for retrieving something of great importance. Shall provide supplies for you in turn. Up ahead.
She gave us things up ahead, huh? Thanks for letting me know.
Be mindful of where you step. Chasms are everywhere.
Why did you make me do this? Why?
That sounds like... Helen? No. No, it couldn't be.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Helen? Law, is that you? It's me, Niles. No, I look a mite different from how you remember me. Been working on my fashion sense.
Rookie? Commander? Is that you? No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me?
It's me.
So it is you. Thank Law. I don't understand what happened, Commander. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Law, I had to kill them.
Oh, Helen. That's awful. But you were only defending yourself. I'd have done no different.
I don't understand what's happening. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
She was alive. When the rift engulfed the station. That's how she's here now. We could have saved her, Commander. We could have done... something.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Law, I knew something was the matter. Tell me. Tell me everything.
Val and I tried looking for you while the commander went on ahead, but DeVries never intended for us to finish the mission. We barely escaped the station before she destroyed it.
So she never intended for any of us to survive. Figures. So what is it that left me like this? Not right. Stop speaking in circles. What are they doing?
It's called reconstitution. The Protectorate are trying to put the whole station back to how it was before it was destroyed. You included. But it's failing.
So I've come back from death to some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? I assume you got a plan to help me? You do.
I feel like it's too late for you, Helen.
Boyd. This is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. Never fly in our ship. Never anything. What am I supposed to do? amount of hope I got ain't worth a damn. Reckon best you can do is end this for me. So will you? I'm sure.
Glad we could do you this one last kindness. Rest easy now, Helen. You've earned it. Won't let no one forget your bravery.
Always knew I could count on you, rookie. You've made a damn fine agent. Only wish I'd been there to see it. This is the final kindness you'll do for me, Commander. Thank you. Try not to miss, huh? I'll just wait here, Commander. Go on.
In all my research, I've never observed anything like this. It's humbling.
Well,
There's the Providence. Oh, what a beauty. I mean, apart from the whole rendering space-time asunder. And look there. That rover looks inbound for the skip labs.
well, that's the way forward.
You may proceed, Commander. We've got supplies at the ready.
Supplies and medical attention are available to you, Commander. Please, proceed.
Are you in need of any weapons, armor, or other supplies? The presiding bishop foresaw this. Please take what you require. It's the least we can do in exchange for your recovery of the archive for us. The presiding bishop herself has arrived and eagerly anticipates further orders. May the numbers guide you.
Initial observations conclude that the subject is suffering from multiple ailments. Just as I predicted, you appear to have suffered some trauma. Sometimes my own accuracy troubles me so.
Well,
Any
yeah.
treatments you may require are complimentary at the request of our presiding bishop, as thanks for delivering the necessary chemicals to her. Very well. You should notice an improvement to your constitution imminently.
This is the way forward.
can't the rift ever reconstitute anything nice?
I don't, like, I'm not getting experience, of course, because I'm already at the max level. Is that plasma wrapped up in it? I wouldn't recommend getting close.
If we gallivant about, we might find a solution to this problem. Or at least a path less likely to have us torn asunder.
Huh, let's not do that.
This is Scientist Bernard Rat.
We need to find a solution to this. Well, no, that's not it. Plenty of places we could go here. Why is this place the only place that's intact? guess it's the stealth option if you're not feeling confident enough to take them on in combat, but like... Yeah, this is where we came from. Okay, so...
Still feel we ought to have done something more for Helen. Well, at least she seemed peaceful, like, there at the end.
Okay, okay. We go up to the vents and then head to the right.
Must be the Sovereign's office. Yes, money and power can't buy taste.
Displayed before you is the complete equation, helpfully labeled for the viewer that it is guaranteed to safely manipulate rifts in a contained setting. The writing itself does not look like the scratchings of a quick-thinking scientist, nor does the diagram. Instead, both look as though they've been traced.
I should have expected that my sovereign would have solved such a complex equation himself. What a brilliant mind.
Best to get this equation inputted as soon as possible.
Solution.
We operate by the Sovereign's grace. Our accomplishments are his own. If you wish to take credit for a punishment I meted out, I would be delighted.
guess it went fast enough.
Just turned on. Let's dismiss what the hell you do.
All was ours. We should get up to the Providence quick light and find that rift modulator.
Troublemaker approaching. Let's get this deployment. Got my lamps on an I've eyes. Ready to waste them on your command. Hit him hard! Let's get him over with.
Ooh,
gunfire? We seem to have entered undetected. We'd best unseal the hangar to continue our ingress.
Wow, it's too quiet in here.
Attention, crew deck. Intruder alert. Be vigilant.
Strange bedfellows indeed. We'd best find out.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Justin?
Let us coordinate.
I mean, these battles have been like, I feel like I have the overpowered stuff at this point, which is why the fights are no longer difficult. Like I just bump rushed them with my scythe, whereas definitely could have done that before.
I am most pleased you have decided to matriculate with us.
Just want you to know your efforts are seen and appreciated.
What remains of Horizon Point should yield much in the way of science, once the threat of the rift is neutralized. But that is for the future. Proceed with our plan. I will rejoin you soon.
What is with the anomalous behavior? Taking cover from bad company. I'm seeing unfriendly source. Taking shelter. Breaking for cover.
spontaneous exsanguination. After treatment, please return to this unit before you die of blood loss. How might this unit bolster or reduce your current blood volume? Request received. Locating cruelest medical tools. Complete. Commencing medical procedure.
Why the most painful one, Doctor? Breast? Tin Can, the proficient purveyor of provisions.
This unit is rated to address any of your needs. If your needs are emotional, rest assured that any silences on this unit's behalf are accepting and understanding. Please make a request.
I need something, apparently. Nothing in here.
You've been a real factor in our success.
What remains of Horizon Point should yield much in the way of science, once the threat of the rift is neutralized. But that is for the future. Proceed with our plan. I will rejoin you soon.
What's going on down there, Deck 01? I saw an intruder alert.
Everything is...
Acknowledged. This intercom is to be used for emergencies only. Misuse of this intercom will result in prompt arrest and correction of the perpetrator. Now, how can I assist you, Deck 01? Again? I shall send her down right away. But this is becoming a daily occurrence, and I will see such slothfulness reflected on her record.
But she's sick.
Sick in the head, more like. I wouldn't be surprised if she were vying for a sojourn to placid waters just to get off this ship. But I remind you that gossip is strictly prohibited over this channel. Over and out.
Oh, I don't even have... I will need lockpick and engineering to do this, so... Well, let's just talk to this, scientist.
A veritable mosaic of conflict stands ahead, Commander. I propose we smash our way through.
could do this a number of ways. We just disabled the security in here. But let's go to the doctor.
So, sorry, I have an appointment to keep. You know, it's against code to impede me from seeking medical treatment.
Well, now we have access to the elevator, so let's do that. La la la. Take me up. We don't have the access. Give me that. Give me that.
Please, let me get release from this life.
Please keep any and all. How might this unit bolster or reduce? Doctor-patient confidentiality is currently enabled. Unit cannot share patient details.
Oh, you don't look like a very secure unit. Disable doctor-patient confidentiality.
This unit is not programmed to receive vocal commands. Unit is receiving vocal command. Logic error. Emergency. Releasing personnel record safeguards.
What?
Scientist Winifred Wu is currently suffering from Lockney syndrome. Subject must receive regular injections of saline solution or will experience leg paralysis and must be carried to sickbay. Unit has been assured this is most embarrassing.
And
so, sorry, I have an appointment to keep.
As a member of the... How might this unit bolster or...
well, it looks like we'll have to go through this after all.
We can carry this momentum through to the console.
While there are readouts similar to the incognito skip drive system, the monitor also references terminology and symbols you've never seen before. The capabilities it suggests should be theoretically possible, at least with technology you're familiar with.
Reckon we could look for those access credentials if you wanted to avoid a fight. Sneaking around's always an option too. Anyway, the modulator has got to be on this deck. We should poke around, but quiet-like. See what information we can uncover.
Okay, Niles. We'll do that. We'll try to do that at least. This centrifuge analyzes biological samples. If only you had one.
Be wary. I've heard there's an intruder aboard. Ah, I suppose that could be you. Forgive me. I'm still a little addled from my last refreshment. I'm going to set off an alarm, okay?
No, you're not. False alarm. A sprat knocked through some wires. I need to get to the rift chamber to fix it.
I was under the impression we'd purged all the sprats from this ship. I suppose there's no true escape from them. Chief Scientist Montserrat is in the rift chamber. I'm sure he'd be pleased to help you find the little culprits. You want to take these credentials with you, in case you're asked. Security's become awfully stringent of late. It wouldn't do to be caught unawares. That's why I carry 2 cards, just in case. Oh, though I suppose it's just the one now.
Are you sure you're okay?
I've been trying to convince everyone I'm perfectly fine. For if I do not, I fear I might be remade as part of the new plan for Arcadia. I do not wish to be remade.
Much obliged. See ya.
Or not, no one deserves this.
Well, the scientist is stupid, so we have the credentials now. Nice.
What remains of Horizon Point should yield much in the way of science. Once the threat of the rift is neutralized. But that is for the future. Proceed with our plan. I will rejoin you soon.
Please.
Reminder, how might this unit bolster?
Return to your work, my fellow subject.
Well, this is the science deck. Where is it?
I just received word that you were here to fix something. What exactly
yeah.
was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab, and hopefully the rest of this system, from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. So you are familiar with the work we're doing? Tell me. What do you make of our experimentations? The party that the consul himself sent out. It has been a rather long time since they embarked. Did you happen upon them? I see. Perhaps he'll finally get what he always wanted. The consul's recognition. Such an end is certainly worthy of gossip on the command deck. Shame Rand did not see what I can. Reconstitution is not working as expected. We are dealing with twisted versions of what was once normal. It's as I've been saying for weeks, but still, this ludicrous experiment continues. And what makes you think that you have the authority to fix this? I don't know what that is. And either way, you are not the one I must convince to deviate from this mess we're in. Our situation is far more dire than it may seem. There is no proof that Rift data can be stabilized or even edited. The consul's plan will fail completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear me out, perhaps a third party will have any luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It will allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him. Because if you don't, we're all dead. The deck up in the control room. The consul is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now.
Look at the size of the Rift modulator.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
Unit has been functioning for 336.
The rifts have spawned through unknown reaches? This is more dire than I surmised. But at least we have the means to combat them now.
It's a stumper, all right. But we'll have to worry about it later. Right now, we should concentrate on finding the console.
This is it.
Your punctuality is as commendable as ever. How did you fare in securing the rift modulator? Yet one more hindrance to overcome in this endeavor. Nevertheless, I expect you to guard those plans closely in the interim. Did you find anything else of note? When one learns information that rattles their understanding of the universe, one may take a moment to consider the gravity of said information.
I know, it's
that rifts
crazy.
are only caused by skip drives, so if they are appearing in non-colonized space, then this is truly momentous. It proves definitively that life did not originate on Earth, and may, in fact, exist elsewhere in other forms. I concur. This is a discussion for later, with laureates in attendance. For now, we must confront the Consul before he wrests that future away forever. He is just through those doors. I have run the numbers, and should you wish to negotiate with the Consul, you must be strategic. He will not react well to a direct attack on his character or methods early on. It certainly may. At which point we may find the opening needed to convince him to stand down. The situation is more likely to devolve into violence than not, but I am willing to give this solution a chance, if only to observe what arguments you construct.
Not that the console deserves it, none, but if we can end things peaceably, we should try for it.
You should take this time to prepare, replenish your supplies, explore your environment for any advantages. Consider what options you may have in the event negotiations fail. And if there is anything more you need to say to me or your companions, I encourage you to divest yourself of these diversionary thoughts while you still can.
This is it, Commander. Only thing standing between us and saving Arcadia is a single dastardly villain. Feels almost quaint after everything else, don't it? This is the mission we should have been on from the moment the Earth Directorate dropped us into the system. Liberating Arcadia from its despots. I think of it as more of a group effort, but you're welcome. You know, back in the day, reading tales of all your daring do's, never could have imagined myself fighting alongside you. Not just as a fellow agent, but also a friend. Funny how life turns out. All right, enough jawing. Let's show the Consul to his reward. Law knows it's long past due.
So, here we finally stand, at the threshold of the final confrontation with the Consul. How I have waited for this moment. The Consul's betrayal resulted in the death of the Supreme Arbiter, the death of Virgil. He has taken everything from me, and I aim to repay him in kind. I respect your confidence. There was a time when all of this, not just confronting the Consul, but standing here beside you, would have been impossible to consider. I'm glad that we met. Let us proceed. We shall bring the Consul to justice together.
Oh wait, I'm facing the wrong way. Alright, let's finish this.
The distinguished presiding bishop herself has deigned to join us. What a charming surprise. I might have known you'd enlist the nearest rabble in reach to crusade against me. Loyalty has eluded you for years, after all. Sentinels, if you would.
Greater numbers, greater odds. It was necessary to combat the irrationality of your foolish endeavor. By failing to show reason, you have lost your edict to rule. Now, stand down.
What's the matter with you? Have your wits been dulled? I am doing what is necessary to save Arcadia, and I'll start by ridding it of trespassers like you. Do not place his decision at my feet. I know it's difficult for the likes of you to fathom the concept of self-sacrifice, but he chose mental refreshment for the good of us all. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I'll only be killing a select number permanently. The worthy, however, will be resurrected and reformed so they may reach their full potential. Open your mind, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Indeed. Rarely are there enough measures to keep the most tenacious of sprats from gnawing their way in. I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremoniously tampered with our Vox relay on Paradise Island. When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. You think yourself clever, don't you? The Sovereign is indisposed, leaving myself as the sole custodian of Arcadia. What's his is mine. And the victory I inevitably clench over you, over anyone, will be his in turn, even if he's not here to bask in it.
Lord, you ever saw?
For all your bluster, you seem more concerned with running your mouth than improving your performance in the field. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Greater Tranquility Station was a test?
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed.
Beware, Commander. The Consul is a master manipulator. Trying to speak with him may be more dangerous than simply slaying him on the spot.
You're entirely out of your jurisdiction. And were I within reach, I would strike down this apostate dog myself. If you wish for me to entertain your argument, you will silence him.
No. Every breath this blackguard draws is a breath stolen from the people of Arcadia. Execution is almost too good for him.
Well,
this course of action will see the crimes levied against the people of Arcadia rightfully revenged.
Tristan, God damn it.
Been convinced. Consul Emery Thoreau, I accuse you of perfidy of the highest degree, traitorism against the Sovereign and his Protectorate. I find you guilty on all counts. Prepare for absolution.
You overeager fools. This is the last mistake you'll ever make.
Take him out!
Got my laptop and I'm free.
Let me know when you needed a stretch.
You are watching Arcadia from the inside.
Oh my god.
Troublemaker approaching. Advance! Quickly into Arcadia.
You have my thanks and my hammer.
Well, that's the console. Unfortunately, I have a feeling that someone would be. I have a feeling that someone will need to be sacrificed in order to close this for good.
Our work remains unfinished until the rift is closed. You know what must be done.
Error. The reconstitution has grown increasingly volatile and the rift device has lost control capabilities. Closure of the rift via conventional means is no longer possible. Brace for catastrophic event.
If the readouts are to be believed, the rift is on the verge of destabilizing completely. But the rift modulator cannot be operated from this distance. It must be flown into the rift.
Would that slaying the Consul had rectified everything. I knew I had hoped too much.
Though it may be troubling to you, this conclusion holds no uncertainty. Someone present must do this. This is not possible. There is no set destination we can command the ship to fly to. The flying and the activation of the modulator must be done manually. I will take the schematics back with me, and, using the processed rift data, of course, the Order will begin production of more modulators that can be operated at a safe distance.
I don't like where this is headed.
Your death will not be wasted effort. I will work to protect Arcadia, and ensure your sacrifice is remembered for the selfless action it is.
It seems the final responsibilities fall to us, Commander. As should be expected. We've accomplished much together. I'll not see it brought to an end by the Consul's posthumous scheming.
Commander, it's been an honor and a privilege. You really are the best the Directorate's got.
Well, it looks like I'm sacrificing myself.
And so, in the end, the commanders sacrificed themselves to save the galaxy. No one knew their motives or thoughts in those final moments, though legends grew around this mythical agent of the Earth Directorate all the same. Vigilant Hogarth, now acclimated to Fairfield, leaned on the Protectorate ideals of neighborliness, while overlooking all the authoritarian tactics, so he might help the Order to succeed with the equation. The Order returned Alexandra Monastery and Matriarch's Mercy to their original purpose, contemplating the clockwork of the universe in pursuit of solving the equation, while thoughtfully relocating refugees to another settlement. The abbot carried on as the head of the monastery, a task he excels at in peacetime. He was assigned a new seer who lacked Wiley's ambition. They got along much better. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for prompt securing Star
Why are we getting...
as well as promotion to
why is
regional
he
manager.
getting epilogue?
He eventually passed.
Why does he get an
peacefully
epilogue
in
where
his
they
state
go?
at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Having died at the peace talks, Augustine DeVries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the Earth Directorate faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Following
Yay,
Inez's
Niles.
humiliation of Auntie's Choice VP Willard Conan, the grafting program was shuttered forever. Inez ensured that all surviving grafted soldiers received full medical treatment and were compensated for their suffering. Those who died from the experiments were honored. Tristan continued to doggedly uphold Protectorate values. With Virgil dead, no one could oppose Tristan for the rank of Supreme Arbiter. Tristan used his new role to punish even the smallest infractions harshly. He eventually became a widely feared figure within his own society. After thoughtful cogitation and calculation, Marisol slowly began to reject violence as the sole method for eliminating random variables. Not coincidentally, her social calendar began filling up. Asa finally achieved her dream of dying in a rift. All it took was a daring and blood-soaked heist of a modulator to create a rift that she then summarily leapt into. Thus, Asa remained a fanatical member of the Glorious Dawn, spreading the truth of the rift.
Maybe I should have brought Asa,
to her
so
final
because she was
agonized
willing to
breath.
jump into the rift anyway.
With full control of the archive and the modulator schematics in hand, the Order called upon all Ascendants to collaborate in one purpose, that of rebuilding Arcadia. Ruth Bissar proceeded to interface with the archive, an agonizing process that shortened her life, yet accelerated the Order's work in solving the universal equation. Decades into the future, she would be recognized as the most efficient presiding bishop in Order history. With the old Auntie dead, a new figurehead was needed to keep up appearances. Company execs fast-tracked auditions for a new Auntie, but it was too little, too late for the corporation's influence to recover, leaving it ripe for a hostile takeover. A grateful Order bestowed the commander with a posthumous academic position equivalent to a laureate, noting they were on permanent academic hiatus due to extreme heroism. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order attempted to help him recover without much success. He lived out the rest of his addled days at Laplace's garden, often spotted sitting by the pond and staring at the water. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. The dangerous experimental research of Marisol's contact from Point Obviation lived on, with a Seer predicted 11.9% probability of yielding a universe-ending catastrophe. Meanwhile, an entrepreneurial work group of chemistricians unveiled a new flavor of Purple Berry
Not
Crunch.
Purple Berry Crunch.
Thanks to the Order's thoughtful planning, the rifts were all closed, and all colonies in proximity to Arcadia were saved. But the fate of those farther out in the galaxy remains unclear. All of these events turn on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.
Yay, we finished the Outer Worlds 2. I really enjoyed this game. You know, it's right up my alley of the narrative adventure.
Hey, congrats on reaching the ending. Well, an ending. Plenty more where that came from. How about another go? Additional playthroughs don't cost nothing. Yet.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this game. I probably won't do like.
My death would be a stain on both of us.
I guess I'll show you what happens when someone else sacrifices themselves as opposed to me. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. I definitely recommend it.
If the readouts are to be believed,
no room for...
Though it may be troubling to you, this conclusion holds no uncertainty. Someone present must do this. Well observed. My importance to Arcadia obviously exceeds that of those present. I will take the schematics back with me, and, using the processed rift data, of course, the Order will begin production of more modulators that can be operated at a safe distance. This is not the optimal course of action we discussed. There are too many errors in your logic to enumerate on them now. But to summarize, you are wrong. Alas, that your ignorance should cost our lives.
I suppose that's the bad ending, huh?
And so, in the end, the commander chose not to choose. Thus, the rift destroyed the colony, killing everyone in Arcadia. Followed shortly by everyone everywhere, as rift destabilizations rippled across the galaxy. In conclusion, the end.
Okay, I guess that's one ending, but probably another one. Oh, oh, well. Okay, so okay, yay, we did it! Everyone died. Okay, so again, I really enjoyed this game. I don't know if I'd replay it. There's definitely things I could have done differently. I know that by allying with Auntie's choice over the Order or none of them in the end game, I could have allocated my skill points to different skills and saw how that affected how I progressed through levels. I really enjoyed all the character writing in this game for our companions was really good. I liked all of our companions. Well, other than Valerie, but like, you know, that's to be expected. The plot. I feel like the plot was kind of like the main story was kind of like it was kind of meh, you know, like the colorful character interactions in this game were bogged down by like a disjointed story, I would say. Like, it felt like the rifts were always like part of the issue. Like, the rifts were always part of the main plot, but I feel like this game could have been like this game's plot focus over like hunting down debris, and then the second half of the game was all about the rifts, when I feel like the rifts could have been at the forefront without focusing so much on DeVries' betrayal. I kind of wish we would have met, like, the console before. Like, if we had seen the console more over the course of the game, I feel like he would have been a more compelling villain. Because he might have showed up before, you know, this stream, this, like, literally the very last room. He might have shown up beforehand, but, like, it wasn't often enough that I could remember him and his name. Like, I guess that was my issues with the writing of this game. Also, I feel like I played this game on normal difficulty, right? Like, oftentimes, like, it felt like, especially in a lot of my earlier streams, like, I felt like I was dying really early to the combat, and then by the time of, like, my last 3 streams of this game, like, I have acquired enough overpowered weapons, armor, and ally abilities to just go headfirst into combat and not really worry about dying anymore. Like, combat became really, like, a non-issue towards the end, which is why I had so many inhaler charges at the end. Like, I feel like combat became a bit too easy. But the opposite problem happened at the beginning of the game, where I didn't have any, like, upgraded abilities yet, so I kept dying really quickly. And maybe it's just because I wasn't that good, but I just feel like combat wasn't the most clean part of the game. Like, it definitely felt unbalanced from both the end and the beginning. And again, like, we had just met the console this stream, from what I remember, and we also only interacted with Auntie Cleo this stream. Like, obviously we probably would have seen her more had we allied with Auntie's Choice over the Order, but I just kind of wish we'd saw her more before I killed her. Okay, if I want to talk about, I thought all the worlds were fine. I didn't like the fact that, like, it was realistic, but one of the things I didn't like was that we just had to run a lot to explore the planet. You know, like, every time we landed on a new planet, we needed to run for, like, minutes, like several minutes at a time, to unlock new travel points. It just, if we had, and I don't even know if I could have missed this, honestly, but if there was some sort of, like, vehicle, like a car or anything that we could have used to get around planets faster and explore them faster, like, that would have been a great addition, because honestly the running just felt like a huge waste of time. Now, I don't know if I'm going to play the first Outer Worlds. I know that the Spacer's Choice Edition just came out on Xbox Game Pass, so, like, that is an option for me now to play the original Outer Worlds with all of its additional DLC content. Like, I definitely could go to that, but I also understand that, like, the plots of these two games aren't really interconnected. Like, both of the games are a bit, like, standalone. Like, I know that Outer Worlds 2 takes place I think Outer Worlds 2 takes place a couple decades after the original. And I also know that, like, this game didn't sell well enough, and that they currently are not developing a third game at the moment. like that this game included the epilogue with like what every important character from the game was doing, and I feel that definitely would have been influenced if I made different decisions during the story. Especially with like the fact that during my initial playthrough, I probably could have asked Tristan or Niles to sacrifice themselves instead of myself. I mean, I suppose real fast I could just get the ending where one of them does, instead of just making no decision and then like killing us all. So I'll probably choose one of the ones where they sacrifice themselves once the credits finish. Shout out to everybody who has worked on this game. I really enjoyed it. I technically didn't spend any money on this game because, of course, I have access to this game through the Game Pass. Oh, I recognize Ben Diskin's name. I don't. Oh, and Sissy Jones. Yes, I definitely recognize some of these names as people who have done voice work in video games before. There's not much else I can say about this game. Nothing that really sticks out to me right now. There is a lot, like the perk system I really liked, both like combining both your skills and experience. The skill point system, I knew this from before I started playing this game, is that you should only really invest into like 3 skills and max out them out rather than try and spread out all of your relevant skills, because then you just fail all of the skill checks again. So I did spoil myself on that, but I kind of wish the game explained that to you better, that you should just allocate your skill points to just 3 skills. And then there's a lot that the game, like, I constantly grabbed like a lot of resources, but I never actually used them, simply because like you saw how tanky I was at the end and how much offense I really did at the end. It's like the combat became easy enough that like the crafting system really stopped mattering after a certain point, if that makes sense. Like I didn't really need to craft any ammo or like weapon modifications or anything like that. Like I really didn't understand the whole crafting, because like the crafting process in these games I don't think are really ever explained all that well. But like I feel like after a certain point I just didn't need to bother learning it anymore, simply because like my base skills were strong enough that like it just could get me through combat just fine, and I didn't really need to worry about it. characters. I really loved the character designs of this game. I think I mentioned that before, but I really do like the character designs of this game, as well as the different factions, as well as how they differ across the different worlds that they've colonized. The writing, the dialogue in this game was my absolute favorite because of their antiquated way of speaking. You know, with their jargon and slang. I really did like their sort of like I don't know what it is exactly, but I do like the way that everyone spoke. It was like it was fun coloring because like they could have written a completely normal script, you know, but like they put their heart into like making sure that every conversation was engaging and colorful. Now, the protagonist not being voiced. I know that this is a divisive topic among people in these sorts of games. I personally don't mind when the protagonist is voiced because honestly, there's so many potential lines that they could say that it would just honestly be a waste of a voice actor. Like they would have to pay that voice actor a lot. So I personally don't mind the lack of voice lines for a protagonist. Graphics were fine. You know, like this was made on the Unreal Engine, so the graphics looked fine for being made on that engine. There were like a lot of clipping issues that I noticed during like the in-game cutscenes where characters talked. Like the bottom of Tristan's helmet noticeably like clipped through his, you know, chest armor like several times during cutscenes, and that was something that I noticed pretty much immediately. Sometimes, you know, especially if they have longer hair, like the hair sometimes when they rotate their head it would like go through, and it's like, you know, like yes they're in-game cutscenes and all that, but like at times it's just really distracting because of how close up it is, so it is really noticeable. You know, the creatures were cool, the Raptidons, all the enemy types, you know, the mechs. These, if you haven't been able to tell, like, these types of games are my favorite. Are among my favorite. I wouldn't say my absolute favorite, because like it does get pretty repetitive after a while. There are so many types of these games on the market. Just making sure that this is awake still. Let me think. There's so much that happened during this game that it's hard for me to pick like an exact favorite moment. I guess like in general my favorite parts of the game wasn't like the main faction, like the faction quest or the main story quest. My favorite part of the game was you could probably tell, like the character quests, like the companion quests. Those were definitely my favorite part of the game in terms of like the writing and general content. My favorite character. Okay, so going through each of the, I would say that my favorite companion in terms of like gameplay was probably Marisol. Like I probably found her the most like consistently useful in combat, and this is ignoring the fact that I rarely called upon my companion's abilities. Like I really did. They really weren't good with like. I constantly pressed the buttons, and they were like, "There's no target, Commander." And I'm like, "Yes, there is," but yeah. In terms of combat ability, my favorite, like, as an actual ally, my favorite, the most useful character was probably Marisol. In terms of like an actual character, my favorite was probably Tristan. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody either, but like I really did like Tristan, and it's probably because like his character was the most interwoven into like the Protectorate, and then you know like the bad guys at the end of the game. Like as a Protectorate over himself, obviously he's the most like, interwoven with like the big bad. But like I do kind of regret bringing him to the last mission because that meant that like we weren't really able to negotiate with the console without having the required leadership or speech skill checks, which you know obviously didn't have since I invested my skills into hack, guns, and stuff, or sneak. Hack, yes, hack is definitely one of the most useful. I would say hack was definitely one of the most useful skills to invest in from my point of view. Like it helped us bypass many things. I don't know, like I could have definitely invested in either brawny or engineering as well, and I feel like those could have been also really useful. I don't know if investing my skill points in guns was like the best choice. Like I honestly probably could have invested my skill set in guns into like something else. But I don't know, like the whole point of this game, the whole point to replaying this game is to invest your skill points in other skills and see how your approach to this game changes, as well as like unlocking dialogue options that you weren't able to do before. But yeah, I probably don't have the time to replay this game as much as I do like it. So I mentioned that Tristan and Marisol were my favorite characters. Asa. I think her problem was that like she didn't have much of a character other than like being fanatically obsessed with her riffs and wanting to die to one, and then her other character trait was killing. Like, yeah, there wasn't like I liked her. It's just, you know, like her character quest may involve trying to find out who killed her, which does, you know, put her character to like focus. But like, you know, she just didn't have much of a character other than killing. And then Inez. Yeah, Inez was definitely a crutch kind of character for me. You know, where she's the only human other than Niles, and then like it wasn't hard to recruit her compared to the others, Asa, Marisol, and Tristan, who we had to go out of our way to recruit. Like with Inez, it was like kind of required to recruit her to have someone other than Niles. As a character, she was fine. I really liked her shutting down like the whole grafting business for good. Valerie, you know, as a robot wasn't really a character, so like there's no point in like talking about her. Niles, you know, he was a solid character. I liked him, but at the same time, I feel like there was very little to distinguish him from like other characters who've been there with you from the beginning. Like he was, you know, nice. He was compassionate and hardworking and loyal. But like I feel like his character has been done so many times before, and to me, Niles just do much to distinguish himself from other characters like him. Ooh, I'm looking at some of the names of these songs, you know, because these are obviously for Auntie's Choice propaganda and promoting their products, overpriced products. Honestly, a crab witch sounds pretty good. I guess one of the things that I also could have mentioned is like the environment and dungeon design. The dungeon design, or like the locale design, it was fine. Like the platforming wasn't that complicated. I guess we're approaching the ends of these credits. Okay, that's the credits. So I guess
Hey, congrats on reaching the ending.
I guess we'll just do one of the endings where our companion sacrifices themselves, and then we'll see how the epilogue changes. Both for the player character and their companion who I choose to sacrifice.
To admit, I require medical assistance. I am honored to stand by your side, even here, at the end of all things.
Now's not really the time for a chat. You need something?
If the readouts are to be believed,
Would that slaying the
though it may be troubling to you, this conclusion holds no uncertainty. Sometimes there is no alternative. This is one such time. Steel yourself. I will take the schematics back with me, and using the processed rift data.
The woe-bedamned circumstances that led us to this point? Is there not some other way we might solve our current predicament?
Your death will not be wasted effort. I will work to protect Arcadia and ensure your sacrifice is remembered for the selfless action it is.
Knew it'd come down to us. Always does. In the serials, this is usually the point when someone heroically volunteers.
In our travels together, I have learned the true importance of Protectorate Doctrine. And Protectorate Doctrine forbids the sacrifice of oneself for lofty ideals. I regret this must be so, but I shall use my life to the fullest. Rest assured.
Starting to cut it close here. What's the plan, Commander? Can't say I'm eager to throw my life away after I've finally just gotten it together. But if you ask me to do this, I won't balk. I'm ready to do whatever's necessary to protect you and the rest of the crew. Well, when you put it that way, how can I say no?
If you are truly set in this path, I shall miss you.
I'd be all talk if I didn't at least do my ample best to see the mission through. Expected I'd feel more fearful, but I just feel quiet, ready. Guess once the worst happens, doesn't leave much room for dread, does it?
Oh, I feel guilty for this. I feel guilty for this. This is why I chose to sacrifice myself. Like, I can't.
So, in the end, Niles chose to sacrifice himself to save the galaxy. In doing so, he assured his place in history as one of the Earth Directorate's finest. He became the subject of a tear-jerking biopic starring an overpaid heartthrob, inspiring a brief surge in Directorate recruitment. Vigilant Hogarth, now acclimated to Fairfield, leaned on the Protectorate ideals of neighbor. And so, in the end, the order the abbot carried on. Zebulon Tran received word of Niles' sacrifice. As a way of honoring his friend, he joined the Earth Directorate. Zebulon Tran received word of Niles' sacrifice. As a way of honoring his friend, he joined the Earth Directorate and worked to reform it from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek, having died at the peace, Val, following in Tristan with Virgil, after thought, Asa finally achieved her dream. With full control, Ruth Bissar proceeded to interface with the old Auntie. A grateful order bestowed the commander with an honorary academic position, equivalent to a law. Adrift without when Sovereign, despite the recent tumultuous, unable to die in the danger, thanks to the Order's thoughtful plan. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.
Okay. So the epilogue does change slightly depending on who chooses to sacrifice themselves. The commander doesn't show up at all in the epilogue, which makes sense. Like, there's literally nothing to our character. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the Outer Worlds 2 playthrough I have. This will be my last time streaming this game. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will I'll catch you guys on other games the next time.